State pensioners in the UK could soon gain easier access to blue badge parking, a move that could make hospital visits, shopping trips, and day-to-day life far less stressful. But this isn't automatic, and thousands could miss out if they're not prepared. Here's what you need to know right now. Welcome to UK Insight, now your trusted guide for pensions, benefits, and senior living in the UK. Stay informed, stay supported, and enjoy your golden years with confidence. Subscribe now and join the community. Right now, under the existing blue badge system, eligibility is tightly defined. Many people automatically qualify only if they receive certain mobility-related benefits, like the higher rate of the mobility component of disability living allowance, or if they score enough points on the moving around part of PIP. Local authorities assess applications differently, but the bar is often set so high that many older people who struggle to walk significant distances simply don't make the cut. That's why the Department for Transport has launched a consultation to rethink eligibility, exploring how people with non-visible disabilities and those with very considerable difficulty walking could more easily qualify. The Disabled Persons Transport Advisory Committee, DPT, a key and influential advisory body, has backed this move. They argue that the scheme should be clearer, fairer, and more inclusive, especially for those whose conditions may not be immediately obvious, but who still face serious mobility challenges. What does that mean in practice for state pensioners? Imagine someone in their late 60s or 70s, slowing down, perhaps not technically disabled by current rules, but now finding even a short walk painful, risky, or exhausting. Under this proposal, they might qualify for a blue badge simply because getting around isn't what it used to be. It's not about a formal diagnosis of disability in the traditional sense. It's about recognizing that aging brings real barriers and that parking concessions can provide a dignity-saving support as mobility declines. If this proposal becomes law, more local authorities could assess older applicants based on mobility assessments rather than rigid benefit criteria. Councils would be encouraged to use independent mobility assessors who can look at someone's walking ability, their risk of falls, their broader health, and make a practical judgment about whether a badge could genuinely improve their access to services, shops, social life. This isn't just good in theory, it could make a major practical difference. With a blue badge, pensioners gain real flexibility. They can park in designated disabled bays, park for free on certain on-street pay and display meters, and even park on single or double yellow lines for up to 3 hours in many cases. That means hospital appointments, weekly shopping trips, or family visits don't become battles for parking or risks to physical well-being. There is a strong equity argument too. Some older people pay out of pocket for taxis, rely on others to drive them, or give up on independence altogether because transportation becomes too stressful. If they could access a blue badge, the reduction in travel friction could help them remain active, socially connected, and less isolated. Plus, parking costs and walking stress both fall. That's a win for mental health and financial resilience. There are, of course, challenges and trade-offs to consider. Simply expanding eligibility will increase demand, and with more blue badge holders, there may be pressure on disabled parking bays or greater use of on-street spaces. DPT see themselves warn that any extension of eligibility needs to be considered with demand for blue badge spaces in mind. Local councils may need to balance fairness with capacity and invest in better local information, better assessment procedures, and clear guidance for badge holders. That means more resources, training, and potentially extra cost for local authorities. Another consideration is enforcement. The blue badge scheme already has rules. You must display the badge clearly when parking, and misuse can lead to a fine of up to £1,000. With more badges issued, stricter enforcement or upgraded digital checks might be needed to prevent abuse, while protecting people who truly need the concession. Also, communication matters. For state pensioners who struggle with online systems, filling in forms, or understanding the application process, extra help may be essential. Local authorities will likely have to step up outreach, make assessment appointments accessible, and ensure that the policy shift doesn't leave behind the very people it is meant to support. But advocates argue strongly that the benefits far outweigh the challenges. By giving older people easier access, the scheme could reduce reliance on carers, boost independence, and improve quality of life, all while recognizing that aging and mobility loss are not a luxury, but a normal, serious challenge. If this proposal is adopted by the government, what can state pensioners do now to prepare? Second, when the rules change, make sure to gather evidence. That could be a letter from your GP medical records, or any assessments that show walking is now more difficult or dangerous than before. If your council uses assessors, having clear, up-to-date information about your mobility, falls or mobility-related health issues will strengthen your case. Third, ask for help if you need it. Local Age UK branches, community groups, or transport charities often run support sessions to help people apply for blue badges, fill out forms, or navigate medical assessments. You do not have to go through it all alone. Fourth, once you have a badge, learn how to use it correctly. Make sure you know the rules, where you can park, for how long, and which parking concessions apply in your area. Misunderstanding how the badge works could put you at risk of enforcement action. This potential reform matters not just for individuals, but for society as a whole. As our population ages, mobility challenges become more widespread. A policy that acknowledges and supports, that is not just compassionate, it's practical, sustainable, and economically wise. Enabling older people to stay mobile and independent may reduce pressure on social care, transport services, and carers. Of course, it's not a silver bullet. Access to a blue badge won't fix every accessibility issue. Pavements may still be poor, public transport can be difficult, and health problems might remain daunting. But it would remove one meaningful barrier: the struggle to park close when you need to, and the stress that comes with every trip. It's also a reminder of the power of policy change. The fact that proposals are being made shows that government and advisory bodies are listening. It shows that age and the gradual loss of mobility is being treated seriously. For many pensioners, this could be a lifeline. Not just to free parking, but to dignity, independence, and freedom. A blue badge isn't just a permit. It's a way to keep doing what matters: visiting friends, going to medical appointments, taking part in community life without the constant worry of walking too far or finding somewhere to park. If you're a state pensioner or you care for someone who is, keep an eye on this reform. Ask your local council what they plan to do, offer feedback during consultations, and help make sure this change benefits as many older people as possible. Thanks for watching UK Insight Now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with other seniors who need this info. See you in the next video. Stay well, stay informed.